Corazon, run! What are you doing? How you tripping, man? Oh! Yet again, gotta give props to Corazon. He is going all out to save Law's life, and I respect it. Let's go. So this week's chapter, not too many big bombshells dropped. For the most part, this was basically progressing the adventure of Rocinante, aka Corazon, and Law to save Law's life. Although we got a little bit more of an understanding of kind of Rocinante's connections. And forgive me if I switch back and forth between Corazon and Rocinante. It's just kind of, I don't really know whether I should stick with one or the other. But if I'm correct, it seems as though Corazon knew people. Like, for starters, we already know that he knows Sengoku, and I don't know if it was that Garp was in the background on their phone call, or was Garp talking to them as well or something, but like, this dude knew people, and then of course his brother was Doflamingo, so he was well connected. And it seems as though Virgo hasn't yet leaked the info, or Virgo maybe doesn't know the full extent of what's going on, because Doflamingo has his suspicions, but ultimately at this particular point, he still doesn't know. He doesn't have concrete evidence that his, well, seemingly anyway, that his brother has betrayed him and his brother's with the Navy. Which kind of made me wonder what's up with Corazon as well. Is it that he just doesn't want to lose Law's trust, and that's why he's basically lying to him like, no, I ain't no damn Navy or something? Or is it that he's only working with the Navy for his own purpose and that he doesn't really believe in the Navy either? So he's kind of like his own man, so to speak. And then we got the setup in this chapter that basically the OPOP fruit is with some pirates and there's a deal going down. So we got a little bit of progression on the OPOP fruit because we basically know more or less what's going to happen. We just don't know how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, because we know ultimately Law's going to get the fruit. We know that ultimately Corazon is going to die, probably at Doflamingo's hands. It's basically been kind of like hinted by Law that, you know, he was responsible. So we know these bits and pieces. It's just kind of connecting the dots at this point and getting more into Corazon's character, because you can definitely see Oda is building this up for a very tragic end. You can totally see that he's making us really like this guy, and even though we know he's going to ultimately die, it's going to be kind of sad. Like, this dude is putting his all on the line to rescue this little kid. Because once this deal goes down, ultimately, once they swipe the fruit, the government's going to be coming after him, Doflamingo, like, so he's going to be a traitor to the world to save this one little boy's life. Which makes you really wonder just, like, how good of a person is it? Is it just that he really loves kids? Does he sympathize with Law a lot? Or it's just that he doesn't give a fuck and he's going to do what he wants. I know this is very immature and 5 years old, but I could not help but laugh at Swallow Island. Very childish, forgive me. And again, for the most part, this chapter was progression in the sense of, okay, the years have passed, Law is getting sick, it's starting to come down on him, he's gonna die soon, so Corazon needs to get that to him. And I like how it kept in the characterization that even though Corazon lied and he was kind of trying to do things in a sneaky way or whatever, ultimately, a part of his characterization is gonna stay the same, and that's that he's a klutz, so he fucked up in the end, and it's like, one of those moments, oh my gosh, you seem so badass and you're so dedicated, but there's still that one quirk. And that's like One Piece in general with the characters. Is like, they can be the most badass motherfucker, but they're going to have that one little funny thing or weird or awkward thing about them. And it just so happens that Corazon is like some Steve Urkel type of shit sometimes. And I'm not 100% convinced that this whole deal that's going down, Doflamingo isn't actually orchestrating it himself to see if his brother betrays him. For all we know, he already has possession of the fruit, and he's just doing this to see if his brother's going to basically betray him. Maybe he's already there with those pirates. Although Corazon already has the fruit, so it's basically a matter of him getting away at this particular point if he can sneak out. But yeah, we definitely know at this point, it's kind of like just giving us the lines, so to speak, to the dots, because we have the dots, we know where things is going to go, we just need to see how it gets there. So a little bit more, maybe like 2 or 3 more chapters for this flashback should definitely wrap it up. Any more than that is kind of like, you know, pushing it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it all end or whatever, and seeing exactly how Doflamingo is going to approach his brother after the situation. So for the most part, this was a good chapter. It wasn't as great as some of the other ones, but it was still progressing ultimately. So I'm going to give this one 7.5 out of 10. I was looking forward to seeing a little bit more towards the end of this, but it looks as though we're going to get a little bit more exposition and a little bit more of this adventure of like Corazon fucking up or whatever on his way to saving Law's life. So yeah, overall good chapter. Enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys thought of it. What do you think about Corazon fucking up at the last second? Do you think Doflamingo is already behind all of this and he's actually orchestrated this himself? Maybe the government is actually working with Doflamingo, unbeknownst to even Sengoku, because we know the elders basically do whatever the fuck they want. They don't really give a fuck about the admirals and all that other shit. So could it be that they're orchestrating this with Doflamingo? I mean, how else did he get his hands on such privy information? Hey, overall thoughts of the chapter. Good chapter this week. Looking forward to seeing how it all ends. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.